For consultations, tutoring, and courses, please visit laurabaratastrologer.com. And if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. Today we're talking about two foundational yogas that are pretty popular and that I see one of them quite a bit. The other I don't see very much in clients, and I'll explain why in a minute. These two yogas are Mahabagya Yoga, which means great fortune yoga, and the second one is Kala Sarpa Yoga, which means Time Serpent Yoga. And these yogas are foundational, meaning the Mahabagya Yoga, great fortune yoga, can give great fortune, or it sets a person up for great fortune. There has to be other yogas in the chart pointing in that direction for great wealth, great success, fame, that kind of thing. But if the person has those yogas in their chart and they also have Mahabagya Yoga, which is foundational, then the person will go that much farther, okay? And secondly, I'm going to talk about Kala Sarpa Yoga. Okay, so to start, we've got Mahabagya Yoga, and what that is it also is very important, kind of important in a relationship astrology as well, or synastry. Mahabagya means if you're a man, you have the sun and the moon and the ascendant in masculine signs or air and fire signs, and you're born during the day or when the sun is above the horizon. If you're a woman, you have Mahabagya Yoga if your sun, moon, and ascendant are in feminine signs or in water or earth signs, and you're born at night or the sun is below the horizon. It hasn't risen yet and it's already set. Okay. Now what that means is when a man has Mahabagya Yoga, he has an incredible access to masculine energy. He's very dynamic and he takes a lot of initiative to do what he wants. He's very goal-oriented. He knows what he wants and he goes after it. He is completely aligned with masculine energy. He's somebody that you would probably describe as being high-strung. He likes a lot of activity, and he doesn't. You never see these guys, and I've never seen one come to me for an astrology reading or any other type of reading, because these guys don't need an astrologer to tell them that what their future is, because they already feel that they can reach those goals and they know they can reach those goals. Whether they reach them or not is another story, and that's in the chart as well. That depends on other things, but they think they can. That's the whole point. They have this attitude that they can reach the heights that they set for themselves, okay? And that's why it's called Great Fortune Yoga. These guys have a lot of confidence and a lot of get up and go. And so, yeah, that's the Mahabagya Yoga for a man. Now, for a woman, she has all feminine signs in her identity factors, except for the Atmakaraka. She has the ascendant sun and moon in earth or water signs, and she's born at night. Now, the feminine energy is receptive, and healthy feminine energy is receptive to what is good for her, okay? A woman that has this yoga knows what is good for her. She makes the right choices. In another video, I described how Taurus, where the moon is exalted, the most feminine planet is the moon. It only rules one sign, and a feminine sign of Cancer, and it's exalted in Taurus. The sign of Taurus is where we turn our neck. It rules the face and the neck, and we turn our neck to see our choices, and we make the best choice. Now, women that have these yogas, I've never seen one come to me for an astrology reading either. Women who have these yogas, they are receptive to the good things in life, and they discard the bad things. What comes to them that they feel is going to make their life better, they make the right choice in that direction. Okay, and she is able to know what is good for her. The feminine moon is all-knowing. Parashara says the moon is all-knowing. And that's the feminine intuition. So she knows what's bad for her, and she does not choose that, or she gets rid of it. Okay, she doesn't allow herself to be manipulated or abused, and she knows right away if she gets into that type of situation to walk away from it. And she knows the things that come to her. She's able to make the best choice that will further her life in the direction that she wants it to go. Okay. Now, if you have a man that has reverse Mahabagya Yoga and a woman that has reverse Mahabagya Yoga, in other words, if you have a man who has all feminine identity factors and was born at night, then he's going to be a little more laid back. He's not going to be as get up and go. He's going to be a lot more aligned with the feminine energy. Now, this does not mean he's not going to be successful. It does not mean that. Those are other things. These are foundational yogas. This is more of an attitude, okay? He's more aligned with the feminine energy, and he doesn't act on his aspirations as much as a man with more masculine signs in his chart. And it doesn't mean that he's homosexual or anything like that. It just means he's more aligned with the feminine energy, okay? Now, a woman with Mahabagya Yoga, with all masculine identity factors and born during the day, is going to be a very ambitious, get up and go woman, but she's not really going to listen to her intuition, and which is, part of the feminine energy that she carries. So she might go after things that aren't going to further her in the right direction because she doesn't make the right choices. But this is somebody who is more aligned with a woman that's more aligned with the masculine energy, and she may go down a road that that results in something she really didn't want, or doesn't give her what she had planned or what she had hoped for. So then she goes off into another direction, following another aspiration or goal, following the masculine energy. So that's how that works. Now, in relationship astrology, in synastry, the woman who has a lot of masculine energy, if she has the reverse Mahabagya Yoga, will act on her initial desire like a man would, to go get. She's very aggressive with who she is interested in, but she isn't really receptive at first to who the person really is. So she can't make a decision based on their personality. She just knows what she wants and she goes for it, but may find out later this is the totally wrong person for her. A man who has reverse Mahabagya Yoga in relationships is going to kind of be nagged by his woman, but he's still a man, so he's still going to be resentful about all of the nagging, or because he's more laid back. He's more, not initiating things with his partner with the feminine side of himself. Now, this is obviously a little different in gay relationships, and I'm going to do a video about gay relationships further down the road. I don't know when, but soon. I'm going to kind of steer into relationships as well as some success-producing things you can see in the chart, yogas and Jaimini astrology. So, so that's that. Wait. Okay, so that's the Mahabagya Yoga, and that is a foundational yoga. Now, to give an example of this, okay, like I said, I don't have clients. I've never had a client with a Mahabagya Yoga come and see me just because they feel inside themselves they're going to do the right thing, and they don't need a reader or an astrologer to tell them what their future is or what they should do or any of that, okay? Because they already know that. They're so in tune with their natural energy. Now, here's an example of someone who has Mahabagya Yoga, okay? This is Donald Trump's chart, okay? He has Mahabagya Yoga, along with a lot of other things. But whatever you think of him, he's a very controversial figure, but whatever you think of him, you have to admit he is somebody who goes out and gets what he wants. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's in his personality. It comes right through. There's some other things that contribute to that too. The moon or the sun Rahu combination. A sun Rahu combination. Rahu externalizes masculine energy in a sun Rahu combination. So this person really projects a masculine presence, a very dynamic presence, and maybe a little too much. But the Rahu is the externalizing energy, so the person really doesn't feel that much from the sun. But since he has the Mahabagya Yoga, he's going to feel it more than most that have that sun Rahu connection. But anyway, so he's got Leo rising, sun in Gemini, or moon in Sag, and he was born around 11 o'clock or 10 something in the daytime. So the sun is here in the 11th house, bright. It's bright out. So it's daylight. So that he has Mahabagya Yoga. That's a really good example of somebody who has Mahabagya Yoga. And the reason, now that gives him a foundation, that gives him an attitude. That's not what is giving him such great success, but it does enhance his success, okay? And interestingly enough, he's also born on Kala Sarpa Yoga. He has a Kala Sarpa Yoga, and he was born on an eclipse. I mean, this guy has all kinds of things going on in his chart. But, the main reason for his such powerful success is this right here, this Mars. It's not the only reason, but that's one of the main reasons. That's a Raj Yoga Karaka in the Ascendant, so in his Leo Ascendant. Also, Mars gives a reddish complexion and hair, and Leo rising. So yeah, there you go. That's Donald. He's a great example of this. Now I'm going to move on to Kala Sarpa Yoga. I think I don't have an example of a woman because I plugged into my database and nothing came up of a woman who has Mahabagya Yoga. So unfortunately, I can't show you that as an example. And of course, like I said, I've never had a client that has that. So moving on to Kala Sarpa Yoga. This is called Time Serpent Yoga. And it's when all of the planets are on either sides of the nodal axis. Okay. Now this is a very, there's a lot of voodoo around this yoga, which there shouldn't be. A lot of people freak out about it. Oh my God, there's the Kala Sarpa Yoga, you're doomed. Obviously, Donald Trump isn't doomed. I mean, he's a very successful man. Again, whatever you think about him, he's extremely successful. Another person that has Kala Sarpa Yoga, and actually I'm going to put that up really quickly. All right. Okay, can you see this chart? Okay, this is George W. Bush, okay? He's got a Leo Ascendant and Sun and Saturn in Cancer, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Moon conjunction, and then he has Ketu and Rahu here in the Gemini Sag axis, okay? So he has all his planets. He has all his planets on one side of the nodal axis. Now, he has Kala Sarpa Yoga. People who have Kala Sarpa Yoga are usually they have extreme personalities, or their personality, their presence, their lifetime here on Earth is for some type of extreme reason, and a lot of their life is fated, more fated than, I mean, most people's lives are fated. You say in Vedic astrology, yeah, the astrology means your life is fated. But most people, when they make effort, which is Mars, that's our will, and Mars is the engineer, we use our will we think we have free will to act in the world, and that's what develops our consciousness. When we believe we have free will and we're doing things to satisfy our desires, to meet our goals, we're using Mars. We're using the general. That's what Mars is. He's the general in the planetary kingdom. And we're developing our consciousness. Even though you can go to an astrologer and she'll tell you this, and this will happen. And those things do end up happening, even though you may have used your free will to do something different. But when you use your free will in your life, you usually, if you consistently make an effort to do something, you're going to see results. Okay? Kala Sarpa Yoga people, that doesn't happen. They either do things consistently over and over again to get a result and it never materializes, or they don't do anything for something to happen and it happens. Okay? They don't make any effort to do something, and that thing happens anyway, and it's usually something that most people, 99% of the people, or the people that don't have Kala Sarpa Yoga, can't believe. They're scratching their head saying, how did that happen to this person? They got this huge promotion. They became the president of the United States, and they didn't really do anything to, get there, or they didn't do what we would expect, like most people do, right? And also, these people have, their presence on the earth is usually to transform the environment around them in some way. In the case of George W. Bush and Donald Trump, obviously they're transforming in a big way, in a major way, because they were presidents. Donald Trump is still president. So you have people who are going to change their environment. In this case, it's the world, basically, because of their other yogas in the chart, their success-producing yogas, in a major way. Now, people just the average Joe on the street that has Kala Sarpa Yoga, that personality, that person in his life or her life will transform their environment, the people around them, in some type of major way. And what that way is really depends on the rest of the chart, but they do have that power. That's called the serpent of time. They are caught in the serpent of time. So what they want to do is usually thwarted, or if they don't want to do something, that's usually given to them, and they have to deal with it. Like I said, they do not, things happen to them that are so completely out there. They weren't expecting it. Unexpected events come into their life that they never made any effort, or that they never thought in a million years would come into their life, or they make a consistent effort into doing something, and usually they get a completely different result than they expected. And that's why people say this is a negative yoga, but it really isn't. It's not negative. I mean, obviously there's very successful people who have this yoga. It's just, it's a very, it seems a lot more faded than a chart that doesn't have this yoga with it. Like I said, Mars is our will. Mars is what we use in the world to, what we think we have free will, and that is developing our consciousness. We need to believe we have free will. Even though we can, you can have an astrologer predict the future for you, or any type of other reader. So that's Kala Sarpa Yoga, and that's Mahabagya Yoga. And so, yeah, I think I've covered everything about these yogas. These are, again, foundational yogas. You have to look at other things in the chart to see how these yogas are going to play out in someone's life. Yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll answer them when I can. Because yeah, this is kind of important. These are important yogas to know. I get a lot of questions about these. And yeah, so thanks for watching. And the next videos I'm going to talk about, like I said, more relationship astrology and success producing yogas in Jaimini and Parashara. Because, that's what most people like to know about. I'm also going to do some videos about Mula Trikona, which means root trine, and how the planets act in signs. For example, if you've got Moon in Capricorn, let's say, the Moon in Capricorn is not only going to give the effects of Capricorn, like a Moon in Capricorn would behave, but it's also going to give effects of 10th house and 7th house significations. The moon is going to act as if it was in the 10th and 7th house. And the reason that is the Mula Trikona of the moon is in Taurus. And Taurus, it's the Mula Trikona is the root trine where a planet derives its power. That's where it derives its power. Usually it's the masculine sign. In the case of the moon, it's not, because it's a completely feminine planet. So from the Mula Trikona to Capricorn, that's 10. Okay? I'm sorry, 9. And then from Capricorn to Cancer is 7. So that's 9 and 7. So it's going to give 9th house and 10th house significations. And I'll explain how all that works in the next few videos. Okay? So thank you for watching. Bye.